Hello, my name is Christine and this is my channel Christine Says a Lot, where I talk about all things sewing. I made 10 garments in July and I entered 3 sewing challenges on Instagram. So let me show you what I made. The first garment I made is the pony tank dress by Chalk and Notch Patterns, and I'll insert some stock photos here of the line drawings and of the pattern. I made myself a new pool cover up with the muslin. I was just checking the fit, so I used some inexpensive cotton jersey fabric that I bought to make Christmas pajamas. I had a whole bunch left over, so I thought I would use this inexpensive fabric for testing the fit and seeing if I wanted to make any changes. I added a Kylie in the Machine tag that says perfectly imperfect, and because I want to be ironic, I sewed it in a little bit off center. The pattern was quick and easy to construct. I did decide that I wanted to make a couple of changes after doing this practice version. I used the high neck option on the pattern, and I decided I wanted to lower it by ½ inch. It was hitting me right on my throat, and it wasn't constraining, it just didn't feel as comfortable. So I lowered this ½ inch on my pattern. And the other thing that I changed was there's a lot of volume in the dress, and I wanted to take a little bit of that volume out. I'll insert a photo of me wearing this version. What I did was I put the dress on and then judged where was it that I felt like it was starting to have too much fabric, and I had my measuring tape and I measured down to that point and decided I wanted to take 1 inch off each side of the dress, and I just graded out from that point on my pattern down to the bottom. I also cut the dress off to hit me right at the knee once hemmed, and I do like those changes. For me, I was looking for a dress that I could knock around town in and be very comfortable during our very, very long hot season here in South Carolina. So let me show you my second version. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this. I may have worn it in my last Friday sews. This is some gorgeous art gallery fabric. It is soft, it is smooth to the hand. It drapes much better than that inexpensive cotton jersey. And I made my changes and I love them. I don't think I need to tweak the pattern any more than what I already have. This is a super quick sew. I used the same fabric for my bindings for my arm and for my neck. And I inserted another advent calendar tag from Kylie in the Machine. It says sidekick. Then my next sew, also for sewing challenge, was I made a bunch of Jon Jon Rompers. And now I've had a couple people ask me, what is a Jon Jon? And Jon Jon is just a nickname for this one-piece romper suit named after John F. Kennedy Jr., who apparently wore a lot of Jon Jons. So I made 4. The first 3 I made, let me show you. I did one in this lime fabric. I entered all of these in He Made June 22, hosted by my good friend Adam from Adam Sews and Lisa from One Lisa Show. And this lime one, I entered into Blossom Sandwiches So Fruity 22 challenge. So these adorable Jon Jons I made using the Martha Pullen boys suit, romper suit, one-piece suit pattern from her book Applique. And I wanted to do a tutorial for how to make this because you can make it fully lined and add snaps. Let me show you the inside. So it has no exposed seams. It's a great baby gift. Now we have 3 baby boys due in August in our family. So it was kind of timely for me to do this for He Made June 22 and also do the sew along. Unfortunately, the Martha pull-in pattern is out of print. I decided that I would find a pattern that is readily available to anybody, and that is McCalls M6304, and this is that version of the Jon Jon. And it's very similar. I sewed it in a size 2 so I could compare it to the Martha pull-in one. Let me just pull them up so you can see. The length is very similar. The difference is that this has a higher neck and the armholes are a little higher, and I believe the Martha pull-in one is a little more slim. This was sewn at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and the McCalls one a standard 5/8 inch seam allowance. So very easy to sew. I am in the process of finishing this tutorial and editing it, and it should be available in July. I have been talking about making my grandsons and my husband a new pair of Hudson pants since January, and I finally did it. So I entered all of these into the He Made June 22 challenge, and I also used the opportunity to try out the Meriflex thread. I sewed his in this heavy fleece back jersey, and I did use some of the same fabric that I made the grandson's pants to trim out his pockets. I'm really happy with how this waistband came out. There is no popping of the stitches at all. He loves them. They fit him so well. He hasn't noticed yet because he has not looked at the tag inside, but I used the label "Made by Mummy." I thought it was funny. I think he'll roll his eyes whenever he does notice it, but I'm really pleased with how this came out. So that's Charlie's pair of Hudson pants. He's waited quite a while for those. I have 3 grandsons. The oldest grandson put in an order for them to all get some new pants. Said they loved them. Actually, he said they loved them and they really needed them. So the first one I'll show you is in a size 3T. And this is for the baby. So this will be his first pair of Hudsons. He's 2. But I wanted to make sure it would last. I'm not as crazy about my work on the waistband. See, it looks kind of flat here and more gathered. I think that's because I used a shorter elastic than the pattern called for. I was really trying to be mindful and to use the elastic that I have, and I have so much 3/4 inch elastic from when I used to teach sewing lessons. I thought, right, let me just go ahead and use that. And it was a little more difficult to get the nice gathers and stitch down the elastic. I used the Meriflex thread. The stitches are not going to pop, the elastic's not going to roll. These are some practical pants, and the baby's 2. He is not going to notice. So the next pair I did for my astronaut aspiring grandson. I brought in the same fabric on Charlie's and the 2 other boys with the pocket detail. I thought he would like this panda knot fabric, but those boys love to dress alike, and they will change their Hudson pants. If they have a pair that matches Charlie's, they'll go up and change when they see what he's wearing. So I thought let me give something to tie it together. I think he's gonna really find these cute. So I finally got around to doing his. And the final pair is for my oldest grandson. And I did the star fabric again. So the star fabric and the panda knot fabric came from So English, and I'll link everything I talk about below. And Charlie's fleece back jersey was from Hearts Fabric. So that's what I sewed in June. It felt great to just get in and sew. My sewing room is still a little bit of a hot mess, but I have it set up enough that I can really work in there and work efficiently. So I'm very grateful for it. Let me tell you about what I'm going to be doing in July. Big plans, big plans. I have a collaboration coming up with Emma from Sew Do It Emma. We will be revealing our garments on July 15th, so stay tuned for that. We are going to be sewing the Hysope Blouse from Deer and Doe pattern. Emma had a recent blog post where she was talking about new patterns coming out that were size inclusive. Two of the patterns really caught my eye. The Deer and Doe Hysope Blouse and the Chalk and Knot Evelyn skirt. I messaged Emma and said, hey, would you like to do a collaboration? And we decided we would do the Hysope Blouse. The both of us also wanted to do the Evelyn skirt as well. So we'll see if that gets sewn up in August. I got the PDF version, so I'm going to insert some stock photos here. What really attracted me to this blouse was that it has a nice loose fit, so it would be comfortable in the hot weather. It's stylish. I think it's very on trend without being trendy. And since the pattern has bust darts, you can get a really nice fit. I like a nice loose fitting garment, but I don't want something to look ginormously oversized. I think this is going to be very chic and put together, so I'm looking forward to making this up. So I picked out a few fabrics that I thought I might make the blouse in and talk you through my decisions. The first one is this chambray that I've had in my stash for some time. It's really a lovely chambray. I got this from Hearts Fabric, and I'll link it below. I'm sure it's still available since this is such a basic. But it has a really nice drape to it. And with it being cotton, I thought it would be lovely to sew. Some of the examples that appealed to me that the testers sewed up were in linen, and I thought this might be a nice fabric for the blouse. The next fabric I want to show you is from Minerva. It's a Lady McElroy, and it is a cotton lawn. So this one will have a little more structure. It's also upside down. But it's also a finer lawn, so it's not going to be terribly stiff. I think with the hyssop that a little structure could be a good thing. So I thought this was really fun. I initially purchased this thinking about making the cuff top, but I think it might become a hit. I have 1.7 meters of this, and I think that's going to be plenty for getting out the top. The third fabric that I'm considering is a rayon, and this is the Rifle Paper Co. fabric that I showed you that I thought I was going to make a robe out of. I purchased 6 yards of this. I don't need 6 yards for a robe, and the hyssop does not take up a lot of fabric, so I thought I might give a go at doing a rayon challis version. This will be my first time sewing a Deer and Doe pattern. I'm looking forward to it. Emma is going to be doing a sew along for the hyssop on July 16th, so I hope you join her in sewing along and join us in making the hyssop blouse. Those are my main plans for July. The only definite sewing plan for July is the hyssop. I need to go take a look at my closet and look and see what I need. I found it interesting when I was picking out fabric that I only picked out one solid fabric. The rest were patterned. And I think I need to take a moment and look at what I have made, what works, what goes together, and what I need. I do think I can't go wrong if I make another pony tank dress because dresses are so simple. You don't have to look at what are you going to match with what because it's all one piece. Chuck it on over your head, and I think it would be great to take on vacation. So we will see what I get done in July. I'm going to evaluate my closet, look at what holes I have in my wardrobe, and try to be a little more mindful in my sewing in the next couple of months. That's very hard for me because I can get very easily distracted by all the pretty things, especially dresses. I love to wear dresses. I wear a dress nearly every day. Tell me I'm not alone in being distracted by all the beautiful prints and new patterns. I'd love to know what you're working on and how you manage to stay on track and be mindful of your sewing so that you come out with complete outfits. Thank you, Emma, for agreeing to do a collaboration with me. I'm linking her information below. Go check it out. Our reveal is on July 15th, and Emma's going to have a sew-along on the 16th, so you've got plenty of time to pick up the Hysope Blouse pattern by Deer and Dove. And until next time, I hope you have a joyful week and that you find the good in all things, especially sewing.